I get very jealous, I guess is the word. I get very insecure when I look at other women. And I know my body has been through a lot, and I always have to remind myself of that. And sometimes I would feel a little sad, or I would feel like she was embarrassed of me, or, you know, these are all just insecurities in my head.
Y'all, did Brandy end up doing the exact same thing that her mama did to her, but only this time to her own daughter? Sarai Smith, because Sarai has been out here lately glowing up, okay? Promoting her music, showing off her weight loss, and now she's finally giving us a peek into why she stayed off of social media for so long. And it's got folks raising their eyebrows at Brandy and Grandma Sonia. Allegedly, Sarai was kept out of the spotlight because of her weight. Yup. Word is that she felt like her mom was kind of embarrassed that she didn't fit into the Norwood image, and Sonia, Brandy's mom, may not have made it any easier. But let's rewind a bit. In case you all have forgotten, there was a bit of drama surrounding Sarai's birth. When the world found out that Brandy was pregnant, everyone practically went into overdrive, because wasn't this the same person that had built her whole image around being a good girl and doing things right? It was also around the time that her Full Moon album was about to drop, and even though they tried to hide it for as long as they could, it didn't take long for people to clock that bump. The internet just couldn't stop talking about it. So much so that some even started speculating the reason why Moesha really got canceled is because Brandy got pregnant out of wedlock. When Brandy finally stepped in to address the situation, you kinda expected that she would just tell the truth since the cat was already out of the bag, right? Nope. Instead, she came out to say that she and Robert Anthony Smith, aka Big Bird, were actually secretly married. So the situation wasn't as bad as everyone was making it out to be.
It was recently revealed that Brandy had a secret wedding last summer. Not even Brandy's parents knew about it. So what did you think when Brandy told you the news?
I was not as shocked.
You were not?
No, I was not.
As shocked as we were. Okay.
Right. Okay. I remember one day we were standing in the driveway, remember? And she and Robert were playing around, and my husband and I said, when are you guys gonna get married? And they said, we are already. And then my husband and I looked at each other and I said, Brand, for real? And she said, and so then my husband stepped to Robert, and then Robert.
And what'd you say?
Dad?
I said, no, you guys aren't. I said, I might have to get my shotgun.
So after she made the announcement, Brandy and her team went on to do a whole MTV special called Brandy Special Delivery, and it documented the whole process of her giving birth to her daughter. Not long after the show aired, Brandy and Big Bird announced that they were no longer together. And he went as far as saying that they were never even together in the first place. Girl, to go as far as lying to your own fans just for the sake of appearing perfect, it was so next level. And word going around was that it might have been Brandy's mom, Sonia, who brought up the idea of being married, but just forgot to make sure that Robert signed an NDA. Okay, so are you caught up now? We were just giving you the background so that you can see just how far the Norwoods would go to protect Brandy's image. Being the first Black Disney princess and all, you know? Once Sarai started getting older, people noticed that Brandy rarely mentioned her. Not in interviews, not in nothing. Fans caught glimpses of her here and there, but it felt more like Brandy was hiding her. So when Sarai started posting pictures and videos of herself, fans started putting two and two together and decided that the reason that Brandy was keeping her away all this time was because of her weight. Sarai had posted quite a bit of her journey and revealed that she had been struggling with her weight ever since she was a kid. She had developed an unhealthy relationship with food in high school and struggled with it for a long time. She also highlighted how her weight affected her self-image because she started feeling like an outsider in her famous family. Sarai also revealed that a major turning point for her was when she landed in the hospital because of health issues tied to her weight. And when she finally dropped it, it felt like her whole life turned around. More opportunities opened up for her, and she even got a chance to heal her relationship with her mom. That's good and all, but one thing that people struggled to wrap their minds around was that where was Brandy when all of this was going on? Brandy often implemented a vegan lifestyle and has always been big on staying in shape and being as healthy as possible. So she definitely has the resources to help her daughter out, no doubt. But people were quick to defend Brandy on that, saying that since she suffered from an eating disorder in her late teens and early 20s, that she didn't want her daughter under the same pressure she faced. Some even speculated that maybe the reason Brandy got pretty big a few years back was because she was trying to match her daughter so she wouldn't feel out of place and isolated. I still couldn't get over the fact that it looked like Brandy didn't lend a hand to her daughter, and it was shocking that someone who knew the pressure of being or wanting to be in the entertainment world would let her daughter battle weight issues for so long. The same way Brandy was hospitalized for not eating, Sarai was hospitalized for eating, and that could have been avoided if someone probably gave her some solid advice on how to navigate in a healthier way.
And actually, me and some of my friends, we were doing this like big showcase, and that I wanted to show all my friends' talent and all these things, and I was acting like crazy. Like, I don't know what was going on. I was so irritated. I was so tired. I was just like, it was just terrible. Like, I treated everybody like crap. Like, it was just terrible. And one day I was like walking up the stairs and I fainted. And like at the time, you know, my cousins were with me and they were like, what is going on with her? Rushed me to the hospital, and I had a health scare, and they told me, listen, like, you need to get together.
Sarai later admitted that she did feel a bit of pressure being Brandy's daughter, and she always felt like she had to live up to this image and legacy that her mom had.
I get so nervous when anybody kind of talks about her and then talks about me too. And, you know, like you see like reactions or articles or anything like that. It's like, oh my God, what are they gonna say? What are they gonna say? Because, you know, when people have kids and like their kids don't do it as big as they or their parents, or they don't sound as good, or they don't act as good, or they don't whatever, it's like the constant pressure of people having an automatic expectation.
She even said that seeing her mom slay at events and red carpets made her feel a bit uncomfortable about her own body, and she wanted to look like that and be all of the things that her mom was.
Sometimes it was a little bit difficult because, you know, seeing my mom dress a certain way or wear certain things, and, you know, when she was on carpet or when I see her on set or anything like that, it was kind of difficult because it was like, you know, why am I not that way?
Right.
Why am I not that size? Why was I made the way I was made?
I mean, imagine having a mother like Brandy who's been recognized ever since she was a teenager for being as talented as they come, and who has been a beautiful Black young lady throughout every stage of her life, while Sarai was still struggling to find clothes that actually fit and flattered her while trying to be positive about the whole thing. So it was only when she lost the weight that she felt like she finally fit in with her family and she could do what she wanted. But even though Sarai has painted it to be one long weight loss journey, people have been saying that it wasn't the case at all. It's more likely that she allegedly turned to weight loss surgery to help her out. And the fact that none of them straight up admitted that she did have to have surgery to aid in her long-term weight loss journey seems so on brand, given how many times the family has been caught lying to keep up their image. And it's things like these that make people believe that maybe Brandy really was embarrassed of the way her daughter looked and had to get her surgery as soon as she could. Yet some fans are still defending Brandy, claiming that there's nothing wrong if she wanted to keep her child off the internet. The fact that Brandy didn't put her in the media doesn't mean she was hiding her. Why can't people leave celebrities alone without speculating about them? I think Brandy was protecting her child as well as her image, and I do think baby girl had surgery, but for herself though, not because it was required. I believe she wasn't trying to hide her, but to protect her from society. Brandy forgot to live for herself and not the image. So was Brandy protecting her daughter or her own brand? You decide in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, baddies.